Hello, welcome back to the little castle. You join me in the turret sitting room, and if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Mock. This is my little boy Chaucer. I live in a little castle in rural Wales, and every week I post videos about my country life, my Airbnb, the history of the house, and the ghosts in the house. Well, I have another episode for you today, which talks a little bit about some of the renovations. Alex is painting the outside of the house. Oh, very exciting. We also have a private chef coming for dinner. So I'm going to talk you through that. You're going to meet John and he's going to tell you what he's cooking for us, and we'll talk through that. And then also so many people have asked me about the ghosts, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update because I saw something the other night. So if you're new here, you may not know much about the castle. It's a little castle just outside Abergavenny. It started life in the 15th century as a barn to store apples and to store cherries for the large stately home that's literally just through those windows there. Over the centuries, it got developed into, first it was a village school, and then it became a home for the local gentry. It was sold as a gentleman's residence in the 1920s, and then my husband Joe and I bought it 5 years ago, and we've been lovingly renovated it ever since. And when we came to buy this place, the previous owners told us it's haunted. I didn't pay much attention to that, but I have seen things. I've seen things on the stairs. I've seen eyes staring at me, and I've heard things go bump in the night. And in my other videos, I talk about that. But if you want me to tell you more about the ghost, then leave a comment below and send me a message as well on my Instagram, Life with Mock. And because we've had so many messages, I decided today to talk a little bit more about the ghosts and share something that I saw the other night. So my husband often works in London and I'm alone here during the week if I'm not travelling for work. I travel an awful lot for work, but somehow over the last couple of weeks, I've managed to spend some time with Chaucer here, haven't I? In the Welsh countryside, which I love. But the other night I was in bed. I was reading Country Life, as you do, and I'd just written my diary. There was no one else in the house. I was completely alone. And the door to my bedroom opened and then just closed. None of the windows were open. There was no one else here. Chaucer just sort of looked up and then went to the end of the bed and then just sat staring, as he often does. And I just said, "Good evening. Remember, you're not allowed to come upstairs after 9:30 p.m. It was about 11 o'clock at night. I was having a bit of a late night reading a magazine. I wasn't scared. If I'm honest, I was a bit annoyed because when we first moved here, I stood in our bedroom and I said, "Hi, ghosts. You've been here a lot longer than me. You'll be here a lot longer after me. So I want us to rub on alongside each other, get on well. You're very welcome here." And a psychic told me that's why all the noise kicked off, why things were moved. They were basically playing with me. So I had to stand in that bedroom again and say to them, "You're not allowed upstairs after 9:30. Isn't that right, Chaucer? Not allowed upstairs after 9:30. Well, obviously one ghost decided they were going to try their luck that night and literally turned the door of my bedroom, opened the door, turned it and closed it. So I told them, not after 9:30, you're not allowed to come in. Now I did see a couple of months ago as I went up the stairs, shortly after I had given this instruction that they were not allowed up after 9:30, I turned around and I saw two eyes peering at me through the door of our snug. Again, I said, no, you're not you. No, you are not allowed upstairs after 9:30. And I turned around and I went up to bed. So what do you think happened the other night? My husband doesn't believe in the ghosts. He just says, oh, it must have been a breeze. It must have blown the door open and then also blown the door closed. What do you think? Do you think, and what does Chaucer think? He's collapsed here in the heat. Do you think that a ghost decided to break the house rules and to come upstairs after 9:30? Or was it just a breeze that blew the door open and crucially blew it closed as well? So whilst you think about that and maybe write me a comment below, let's get on with this week's episode and let's meet John, who is the private chef who came to cook for me, my husband and a couple of our neighbours. See you in a minute. I have got quite an exciting Thursday night, which is something I don't normally say. Thursday, nothing really happens, waiting for Friday. Well, tonight, something is happening here in the little castle. Tonight, we have a private chef coming for dinner. John, who is a private chef in Abergavenny, which is just up the road from us, has very kindly offered to come along and cook for Joe and me and two of my neighbours. I've selected a menu of things that I like to eat. The idea of having a private chef seems incredibly fancy, but when John said I really like the videos and I would love to come along to the little castle and cook for you, well, I couldn't really say no, could I? One of the things that I really love about making these videos are firstly seeing all your gorgeous comments. I absolutely adore it when you send me a note under a video saying, oh, I like this, or I didn't like this, or you share some personal experience, or maybe you suggest something you might want me to film next time. And I'm also loving the fact that I can share some of my adventures with you. Well, tonight, another adventure, an adventure with a private chef. I'm not the sort of person necessarily who would book a private chef, but tonight we are having a full-on 3-course meal and my lovely neighbours Alan and Mandy are coming to join us. So I've just been cutting some sweet peas there. Oh, and anyone who's had sweet peas will know two things. One, they have the most amazing taste, and two, the more you pick them, the more they come back. So I'm picking lots, leaving a few, and I'm going to get coffee in the bars and put them on the dining table. As I set up the table, and I'm going to wash and get out of this clothing. Not exactly dinner time. Come along. I don't think I've mentioned this, but you may see that I put 3 wine glasses down, 4 water goblets. That's because I don't drink alcohol. My husband doesn't drink either, but he likes 0% alcohol, so he bought some 0% wine. Me, I don't like the taste of alcohol. I gave up for dry January a couple of years ago, actually quite a long time ago now. If I think about it, I didn't drink at our wedding, and we've been married 12 years. Don't like the taste particularly. I've got colitis, so what it does is it can irritate my second tongue. And also I don't like the calories. It's 125 calories in a glass of wine. I've been steadily losing weight and getting fit over the last couple of years. I don't mind buying wine or serving wine for anyone else. I really love to hit this restaurants as far as this is concerned. I'm not sure if it's a bit grand for a beautiful summer supper. Tell me a little bit about how you got into being a private chef.
Yeah, I mean, I was furloughed back in lockdown, so it's the tail of all of lockdown, and furloughed on the job that I was doing, but just always wanted to cook, and I knew I always wanted to have my own business. So with the time I had, I just started posting food on Instagram, and initially, because we had restrictions, I could only deliver food, but then as soon as we came out of lockdown, I was able to come and start offering private dining for people. and that's 6.5 years ago now.
And what is your favourite dish to cook for your clients?
Ooh, I was lucky enough to spend 3 years in Hong Kong, so anything Asian influenced is kind of close to my heart. So yeah, I love Southeast Asian flavours.
And tell me what we're having for dinner tonight. I know I had a whole choice.
Yeah. So tonight you're going for griddled asparagus with hollandaise, with duck egg, and with herb oil, and then you've got pork tenderloin with ingredient emulsion, roast potato, seasonal veg, balsamic glaze, and you've got a dark chocolate ganache for dessert. We're just making our roast potatoes, so yeah, we're gonna obviously peel them. We're gonna shape them, just using the peeler to shape them, and then we're gonna go into the hot water, salted water, strain them, cool them, and then it's just all about getting your fat screaming hot into the hot fat, and then you've got to keep turning them. So you can't just leave roast potatoes, you've got to keep turning them, making sure the fat keeps coating the potato every 10 to 15 minutes. And that's really it. Strain the fat off for the end for the last few minutes, and that's it.
And how big or small is the ideal roast potato?
It doesn't matter, obviously. The larger the potato, the longer it takes. I'm going to keep them big today because I want that presentation. But you know, most people tend to cut them in half. It doesn't matter really. Just adjust the cooking time accordingly.
And you're keeping them that size?
Yeah, I'm going to go for big ones today. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I look forward to a crusty potato.
Good.
Look at that lovely hollandaise sauce. What's in a hollandaise sauce?
So it's egg yolk, emulsified with melted butter, lemon juice, Dijon mustard, bit of salt. That's it.
Oh, gorgeous! Wow. And what type of eggs have you used? I know you've got duck eggs with our asparagus. Is that regular? Is it chicken egg?
Yeah, just nice golden yolk. That's it.
So you're making a pudding. So tell us about what the pudding is. What
Yeah, so we've got chocolate ganache here. So this is 80% dark chocolate. It's just melted down with double cream, pinch of salt, a little bit of vanilla essence, and then we're serving that with a chocolate soil.
Chocolate what?
Chocolate soil.
Chocolate soil.
Yeah,
okay,
this
sounds very garden-y.
It's a very fancy way of basically we make biscuits and then crumb them, and then we mix that through with some butter, some cocoa powder, a bit of sugar. You get like a soil effect. And the ganache sits on top of that. And on top of that, we've got strawberry ice cream tonight. Sometimes I do raspberry sorbet. I've got strawberry ice cream tonight to go alongside that.
So show me this what's it, soil? So you've crushed up some biscuits?
Yeah. So you make your biscuits first, then crumb them, and then we're going to put melted butter, and we're going to put cocoa powder, a bit of sugar, and makes like a chocolate. That's how I make it anyway.
Okay. We had this house painted, I think it was a year ago. It's lime wash that has to go on to make sure that the walls can breathe. And unfortunately, the painter didn't do a very good job. And so we had to have Alex come back and fix it for us. And he's spending the next 3 weeks painting the house. Now, the challenge also is that he has to get to some very high places, so we have to have scaffolding in, and also all of our 21 windows need to be vanded down, and then they need to be varnished as well. So poor man, he is definitely earning his crust. But something that's a little bit concerning is the chimney needed fixing as well. The leading needed fixing on the chimney. So we had that fixed by the wonderful builders who built the Airbnb or converted the stables into a holiday let for me. But the challenge is the water that was dripping down because the lead wasn't correct on the chimney. It got filled with bacteria and it literally ate the side of the house. So we had to have the side of the house repaired, and now whatever has been put on to repair the side of the house, and bearing in mind we went back to the suppliers, we got advice from lime specialists, that is now staining when we paint over it. So I've got some challenges to fix out over the next couple of days. I can't get out of my house without bumping into builders. We've got a bat ecologist coming in later on to have a look at the bats in the stables. Oh, and we have a changeover. So our Airbnb guests are leaving and Jane is coming in to help me clean and fix the Airbnb. I've also got to do a little bit of work as well. So that is the life of living here in Tourmahangle, but honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. Chaucer! Oh, there he is. Bless him. Can you see how amazing this meadow is? I got these plugs from Meadow Mania and oh my goodness, they are absolutely stunning. I'm particularly happy with these here. And I think you can see my laundry, that. Oh, isn't that a perfect scene? Well, Chaucer and I would like to say thank you so much for joining us here today at the Little Castle in rural Wales. We so appreciate your visit. We hope you'll come back next Saturday. We do videos every Saturday, renovations, gardens, Airbnbs, histories, and the odd ghost. Now let me know, what do you think? Do I have a ghost in the bedroom opening and closing doors, or do I need to go and find where the draft is coming in? I'd love to know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the private chef dining with John and got a little bit of insight into living in a historic house with Alex painting the side of the house. I'd like to say a particular thanks to my members. Their names are coming up here now. They pay a small amount each month that really helps the channel keep going. And they also get exclusive long form and short form videos behind the scenes. So if you want more of Chaucer, me and country life here in the Little Castle, do consider subscribing to becoming a member. But if you haven't already subscribed, do hit that follow button. Do subscribe to make sure you don't miss next week's video. There'll be more renovations, more gardens, and I know people have asked for a tour of the turret, so I'm definitely going to do that. But for now, wherever you are and whoever you love, thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate you spending your time with us. Take care and have a wonderful week. Look after yourself. Bye-bye.